Now available on Kindle Unlimited, The Legendary Mad Matilda. Get this great goth YA fiction for your e-reader or tablet free with your Kindle Unlimited subscription, or pick it up in paperback on Amazon.com. The Legendary Mad Matilda. Get it today on Amazon.com. This is going to be part 2 to my previous video, Predatory Women in the Goth Subculture. And if you want to check out that video, you can click the link in the description box. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk about how to identify predatory females. Now, when it comes down to predatory females, whether they be women in the goth subculture or women who are dressed like regular women, they all have a pattern to their behavior. And a lot of guys, because they get caught up in the spooky makeup of a goth woman and the dark clothes, they cannot really think to identify the behaviors. And when you are a man who can think objectively and think critically, you can look past a woman in the goth subculture's dark makeup and clothes and see who she is based on her actions and the words that she says. Now, when it comes down to a lot of guys, they don't understand that predatory females, again, they have a pattern to their behavior, and they have a pattern to the things that they say and the things that they do. And oftentimes when it comes down to a predatory female, one of the first things she's going to start talking about to a guy is money. And the reason why she's talking to a guy about money is because she wants to get into a guy's pocket. So one of the things she'll start talking about is, where does a guy work? What does he do? And those are type of questions that, they're average questions, but oftentimes she will start with that question, then lead into, how much money are you making? Or, I bet you spend a lot of money on nice things. And again, that's so that she can get you into her confidence, so that she can get you to spend some money on her. And that's one of the things that predatory females try to do. They try to immediately go for your wallet, and they immediately try to go for access to your resources. Because when it comes down to the predatory female, she wants access to a man's economic resources. She wants to be able to get this guy's head in a certain place so she can have it so she can manipulate him, so she can get access to his money. So a lot of these predatory females, they'll lay on the flattery, they'll lay on the charm, and they do this in the hopes of getting a guy's confidence up and then getting him enamored with her. And once he gets her enamored with her, what happens is she can then get him to buy her whatever she wants. And that's what predatory females do in a lot of cases, is that they want to get this guy to start spending money on her, and then once they get what they want out of the guy, they will then dump him to the side and then move on to the next guy. Now, there's other predatory females out there who, they don't want just access to resources. Some of these women, they want to be able to just have a guy around to be a part of what I call the gynocentric harem. And I did a video about the gynocentric harem because a long time ago, to let guys know what a gynocentric harem is. And some women, they sit there and they'll have guys be a part of this harem, which is serving her and taking care of her needs. And some women, and the women who have the harem, they usually have 6 or 7 guys. They have the guy who they're having sex with. They have the guy who goes out and gets them coffee. They have the guy who's driving them around and taking them places. And she's stringing these guys along because she's getting stuff out of these guys. And a lot of these guys are thinking that they have a chance to get with her, but what they're being used for is a tool that they use to take from place to place or to get stuff out of them. They're not boyfriends, but they're just valets, and they're sitting in the harem, emasculated, waiting for what they believe is an opportunity with this woman, but this woman is just using them to get whatever she wants out of them, whether it be coffee at the Starbucks she goes to for free, or she's going to get this guy to drive her to and from work or to places, long places, because a lot of the women who have a harem, they have a driver, or they have a guy who takes them out for free dinner and free drinks. And when it comes down to predatory females, they will use this guys in this harem to do all of her work, and then she just sits there and makes fools out of them because they don't know that they are being taken advantage of by a female predator. Now, another type of female predator is females in the workplace. And a lot of times when you're dealing with females in the workplace, they will try to get a guy to do their work for them, or they will try to get guys to do things like take them out for lunch and get free stuff out of them. And if a guy doesn't really watch out for himself, he can wind up getting taken advantage of because he doesn't know that this female is just using him to go from point A to point B to get her reports written, to get her work done, and then she's collecting a paycheck for free at his expense. That's what female predators on the job do. They'll sit there and they'll have you doing their work for them. They'll have you buying them lunch, and then you're sitting there, you're doing all the things for them, but you're not seeing where you're going. And this is what happens to a lot of guys when it comes down to predatory females. And the same thing happens in the goth subculture to a lot of guys. They can get taken advantage of in the exact same way by predatory females if they don't know how to identify female predators in the scene. Because female predators are out there and they oftentimes see a naive guy, whether it be a guy who's a part of the goth subculture or one of these simp tourists out here who come to the scene looking for an easy goth woman, or one of these guys out here who's new to the scene, who's like a baby bat, who doesn't know what's going on, and he sees the first goth woman who pays attention to him, and then he winds up getting taken for a ride, taken advantage of, and then played. It can happen to any guy who does not know that women are women, and he has to really judge women by their actions, and he has to watch their actions and start looking past their makeup to see the person who they truly are. And all of this is something that a guy learns by talking to other men, and he learns by reading books like I write, like in the Simp series, like Stop Simping, Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance, Misadventures of Captain Save-A-Ho, Manginas, They Look Like Men but They Act Like Ladies, and Stop Simping in the Workplace. Those are the kind of books that can give you information to identify predatory females so that you won't get taken advantage of. Because when it comes down to women in the goth subculture, they're just like every other woman out here. They just have a darker perspective. And if you understand that they just have a darker perspective, you can avoid being taken advantage of by those who have a dark side to them, who want to exploit people. Because yes, there are female predators in the goth subculture, just like there are female predators in every other scene out there. And you have to really be objective to see their behaviors so you won't get taken advantage of by those females. And this is something a lot of people, they don't really want to talk about regarding the goth subculture, regarding predatory women, but they are out there and they can take you for a ride. They can wind up doing things like living in your house. You can't get them out of your house. They can wind up getting you involved with all sorts of really shady people. And some of them, they have drug problems. Some of them have mental health problems. And if you don't know how to identify a good woman from a bad woman, you can get played just like you can get played by any other woman out here. And that can lead to you having a really bad experience with a woman in the goth subculture. But that would be the same as you would have with any other woman out here. And that can happen because you just don't, a lot of guys out here just don't understand that you have to judge a woman by the content of her character, not the color of her makeup or her goth look or the darkness of her clothes. You have to look at this woman on the inside and see who she truly is before you start making serious efforts to have any sort of relationship with her. If you'd like to try many of my men's issues books like Stop Simping, Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance, Misadventures of Captain Save-A-Ho, Manginas, They Look Like Men, They Act Like Ladies, and Stop Simping in the Workplace, you may do so by clicking the link to Amazon.com in the description box. And if you'd like to try the Spinsterella Trilogy books, you may do so by clicking that same link to Amazon.com. That's That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.